And we should be live now, I believe. Hi, everybody. Welcome. This is Certified Life Coach Institute, and we have another week with some amazing students of ours. With us, we have students who just took the class this past week with Desi, right? Yay. So brand new life coaches, and we're going to be discussing today what their concerns, fears, insecurities that they have moving forward since they've just got these new certifications. We're going to tackle some of those. Before we begin, I want to introduce everybody. So let's begin with our special guests. Willie Mae, would you like to introduce yourself first?
Yes, thank you. I am Willie Mae Tuggle out of Wallace, North Carolina. I am a pastor. I am a retreat counselor, and I'm new to coaching. So I'm very excited about being a part of this.
Excited to have you. And up next, we have Leslie Danielson.
Hi, I'm Leslie. I am from Mission Viejo, California, and I was recently laid off with the whole COVID stuff going on. And so life coaching is something that I wanted to do for quite a while. And this has pushed me in that direction sooner rather than later. So getting ready to start something new and exciting.
Amazing. Up next, we have Justine.
Hi, I'm Justine, and my husband is the pastor, and I am the co-pastor of the church. I've done seminars in the past. I have a degree in pastoral counseling. I've been coaching and counseling on the side for a number of years, and I'm really happy that I have a certificate and kind of put some things in perspective that I really wanted to do for a long time. So happy. The class was great. Helped me a lot. My biggest struggle I probably would be just marketing and familiarizing myself with the computer.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll go back to that in a moment. Next, we have Donna.
Hi, I'm Donna Gonzales. I am in San Diego, California. I am a jujitsu women and women's self-defense coach. I've been teaching jujitsu to both men and women. I teach fighters. And one of my students is a coach. And I was telling him that I was a little trying to figure out what to do with the rest of my life because there's only so long you can beat up 20-year-old men before your body falls apart. I was like, I don't know what to do with myself. And he was like, you should coach. I was like, well, yeah, I coach every day. And he was like, uh-huh. And you should do that, but like not on the mats. So I had a whole bunch of limiting beliefs. I didn't believe that I could actually make a career out of that. So then I took a job as, it's a long story, but I took a job as a head coach for a team that didn't work out. That's why I'm in San Diego. I'm from Los Angeles. And that fell apart very quickly. It was the beginning of COVID. And for very many reasons, it didn't work out. And so full circle now, I'm like, I really wanted to be a coach. I didn't believe it was possible, but crisis creates breakthrough. So here I am. We're going to make it work.
There you go. Very nice. And then
I have a lot of fears and questions, but I'm also very hopeful.
I think everybody does, though, so that's okay. Next, we have Lisa and Desi.
Hi,
Together.
we're in California. We're not in California. Where are we? Colorado. I've just moved here, and Desi kindly came out to befriend me for a while and help me build some things. Everything is needing to be built, apparently. Anyway, so we are excited to see you all here today and find out what you're going to share with us. Thank you for being here.
Awesome. I'm Desiree Slusher, and I am a lead facilitator with Certified Life Coach Institute. And what I do is I support individuals in spiritual coaching. And instead of being Bob the Builder, we decided we're Brenda the Builder today.
Nice. And we have Jerome.
Hello, everybody. It is great to be back. If you're unfamiliar, I am a CLCI admin, amongst other things, and I think we have a really good one in store for you guys today, so I'm excited.
And I am Brooke. I am one of the many faces at Certified Life Coach Institute, wear many hats, and one of them is hosting. So let's go ahead and get started. So one of the things we asked everybody prior to this is to think about what their concern or fear or insecurity may be within this. I'm just going to open the floor up. Does anybody want to begin? Go ahead.
I will. So probably, I feel like maybe this might be a lot of people's fear is the financial aspect. I have no problem seeing the future, like the big picture, like, yeah, someday I'll be giving motivational speeches and doing big retreats, but it's the how do I get enough momentum to create, my month to month expenses while I'm building this up.
Anybody want to start? Lisa, Desi?
So I can tell you when I started my coaching, when I was working as a couples coach, I had 4 jobs because it takes time to build for the most part. It's not a common thing for you to go through a class and on Monday morning be successful. Meaning you've got your books filled with clients, everybody's chomping at the bits. You have to usually work it. You usually have to find what your niche is. That's the first place. For me, it was immediately decided once I took my coaching program, I was going to be a couples coach because that's what I always did as I worked on relationships. So having your mind in a clear set of understanding who you're coaching, that's going to help you in your marketing reach. To who you're, I call it the avatar, who that avatar is that you're trying to reach. And so your language, the financial, if you're not doing money behind you, meaning advertising, then it's going to come down to getting out in front of people and speaking about your product, whatever your new favorite product is, just like you have a favorite soda or a pair of shoes. You have to be talking about yourself in that way and getting yourself out there and promoting yourself. So I wouldn't say to anybody, quit your day job. Start working it and massaging the process, getting things built, getting things cohesive, getting your message understood and clear and concise and as specifically pinpointed as you possibly can. And then at some point, you do want to have both feet in and propel forward. But that's when you have a clearer picture of who you are in this process. You want to add something?
Definitely with Lisa is that there's a book, Prosperous Coach, and they talk about do not leave your day job to become a coach, because then you're trying to create off of survival versus create off of thriving. And you will most likely succeed when you're in a space of abundance is coming in and your paychecks are coming in, and it's more motivating because it's hard if you're struggling as a coach to thrive. And so I know for me, when I worked in my corporate job, I was there for 9 years, and the last 2 years is when I worked coaching part-time, and it allowed me to scale up to make my goal was to make half of the amount I made at corporate to feel comfortable and confident in leading. And so you want to set up those milestone goals for yourself before you just close shop.
For me, I had the different experience where I just said, I'm going out on my own. You have to be hungry to make it, essentially, is what my thought process was. And it's not easy to do that. It's just not, I don't recommend it. It's terrifying at times. But I figured it out. I want to say something that Lisa pointed out that I thought was is the pinpointing that thing, that niche, that whatever that is. One of the things I like to say is try to narrow it down to 2 words or 3 words, almost like that little, like couples coach. You understand that, the reason being because everybody has so many things to do, but you're already going to be spread really thin. So the more you can become a master, an expert, the go-to person for one thing, build that out, whatever that is, so that you live, eat, and breathe it. And it is your passion, and it's second nature. So it's just like, you know, writing or riding a bike, or it's just something that just naturally comes, and you can see how it can apply to every aspect of life. And then once you've mastered that, then think about the next thing, because when you've done that and you do it so well, people will come to you for it and trust you, and then that will help build everything else later. But start with the one. And then for me, when I went out on my own, the way I did it, I did a budget of my whole expenses. I looked at what I needed to do for 20 hours. Okay, so for 20 hours, if I make this much, I can be miserable, because I have the other 20 hours to do something that I enjoy doing. And that's sort of how I broke it down. And that was my philosophy for how I proceeded. And so I was allowed to do something I hated if I was making X amount of money, as long as I was because that gave me permission to do the thing that I love until I could get that running. So, yeah.
Thank you.
There's lots of different angles when you're doing this. You've heard people just put your both feet in and just go for it. And that works for some. You have to know yourself in this process. And if you're not that person, you're not going to automatically be that person just because you deemed it so. You have to have the behavior and the learning and the training behind it to be able to do that. And if you don't, that means you've got to take the steps to move towards that way, that direction. And so what today can help you move towards that future direction that you're building? And then keep every day doing it and adding more to it.
And I think a big element that maybe we don't discuss as much is, once you get a client, you want to nurture it, nurture your leads, nurture your clients, do really well with them, because a large part of your business will come from referrals. That it just is. I mean, so doing good with one client will exponentially help you. So really getting that first few clients will help you so much with growth.
And there's a couple of ways to do that. You can build that even in your information that says, you know, if you like what we're doing, we love referrals. You can write that in your contract. You can put it in a folder that you give them that has a little flyer in there. You can send them an email. There's many different ways to keep encouraging your clients to send you referrals.
Some people even build out referral programs if it fits right, where, you know, I'll give you a session for free if you know, so many clients come in because you referred them. And that sometimes people do that because it gives some motivation for people to do so. Yeah.
I'll speak on that. I know for me, when I get referred a client, depending on how long I work with them, the person who referred them gets anywhere from $150 to $300 just from referring someone to me. And I would say 90% of my 90% of my clients are all referral based. Very little is done with social media.
It's really about getting those first few, and then once you get the first few, it'll help you immensely from there. Jerome, anything to add?
Just to honestly piggyback off of what you said, and I love this. I think it's called the halo bias. If you're good at one thing, then everybody's going to assume that you're good at everything. So I think starting somewhere, getting really good at that, and then expanding from there is key in this process.
Exactly. Do you feel like we covered it? Anything else?
No, that was super helpful. Thank you.
Okay, amazing. All right, up next, who wants to go next? Anybody?
I guess my my fear would be, what if they don't come? Before I got laid off with COVID for a couple of decades, I was in marketing, sales, business development, customer experience, customer relationships, customer service, that whole ball of wax, whole skill set. And so Desi's information on Sunday was awesome. And she covered a whole lot of information in a short period of time and gave everybody a ton of ideas. And so I've done quite a bit of what she shared with us. And so, but in that industry, I know a lot. I have over 500 clients of a warm market that I could tap into for business opportunities at any moment. This is a whole new gig. So I'm like, okay, I know what I know. And so even knowing what I know, what if they don't come? That's fear of insecurity, self-doubt, all those things come to the surface and go, okay, I was really good at that in that context. This is something completely new and completely different. What if?
Yeah, Leslie, when you had people that were hiring you to do the marketing and all of that work that you did, and they came to you with that, well, what if they don't come? How would you address that?
Well, I would give them a reason that they needed to be there.
Okay. And so what reason would you give? What would be a reason that you could give that they would want your service?
I think that the crux of it is everybody has goals, whether they know it or not. They have goals, they have wishes, they have dreams, and there are so many things that stop us all from getting there, and we refer to them now as blocks. And so helping people to not get tripped up on their blocks, to clear their blocks, and to help them help themselves to get to those hopes and dreams is, I just think that's just a huge value to anyone that's striving to get somewhere.
And so you would share that with that potential client, that you're going to be the one that's going to help them figure out their path to striving, right, and to meet the criteria that they've set ahead of themselves.
I want to ask you one more. So who is your client? So I'm curious, what kind of coaching do you want to do?
Well, I thought I had this one figured out, and then I kind of waffled. So really good question. Because I'm coming directly from that corporate situation, I felt like, well, that's definitely my comfort zone. Not that comfort zones are always a good thing, but I thought, you know, to circle back to those 500 people in my warm market and just let them know that this opportunity is available. And, you know, that in the business environment, that corporate environment, the executive environment, that's my first thought, because it's just, I was just there 2 months ago.
So what's the opportunity? This opportunity is what you said. What is this opportunity?
The opportunity to help some of these executives get past some of their blocks. Yeah.
And have a person that they can trust and brainstorm things with, that's going to be authentically with them and not competition. She
also said that she flopped though. So I'm curious what the flip flop was though.
Well, and so when in the class, when we were talking about our elevator pitch, again, I was trying to keep it short and sweet, like you said, couple words, and yet encompass everything I wanted to. So anyway, I came up with something along the lines that I'm helping people through life transitions, helping people with life transitions through self-transformation. And all that, to answer your question, I feel like whether it's an executive or a single mom or a person going through a divorce, we're all going through transitions all the time. And so that's where, okay, this one executive could be going through all of those transitions in their life, or that single mom looking for a job could be. So I'm looking at people in transitions. Mm-hmm. And then I try to narrow that down and I go, well, that's kind of everybody all the time, you know, so that's where the flip-flop is.
Well, I don't think there's a flip-flop.
Okay.
Because like you said, everybody experiences it, right? Correct?
Right.
And if everybody experiences it and you have a warm market in here,
right?
Why can't they just both exist at the same time?
Good question. I guess I was just making it harder than it needs to be. You know, I was like, drill down, where's your niche, what's the really specific thing? And I was trying to, I guess I was just making it harder than it needs to be.
I mean, I think you need to, I would stay tapped into your market, right? Tapped into that and be a transition coach for those executives. I mean, executives are transitioning all the time, and they're transitioning in negotiations, they're transitioning in their lives and their businesses, and whether, so I think it's a beautiful place to be, and it serves both purposes, right?
And it's a great place to start. They already know you, like you, and trust you because they already know about you. It may lead you down a different path at some point that you have even more focus on a target than you even realize. The target may be looking for you, and then as they become more connected with you and that word of mouth starts flowing, it may go down a different path altogether.
Right.
A lot of the time, the people in coaching do have many different directions that they go with. I'm one of the few that did not change, but I know many people who have changed who they are and what they're doing in this process as they're trying to really finesse that niche.
Well, and you change too as you go through the process. You start to change and develop and realize what you really grooves with you, what works, and what's kind of not feeling right. And so you're gonna adjust and pivot as you move forward. But it's a natural fit to start where you're comfortable, without a doubt. And then there's that referral business too. It's already you know there.
Exactly that because I know all of them and they know all of each other, and it's a big industry, but a very small industry at the same time. Everybody kind of knows everybody, and everybody shares information, and so I think that whole word of mouth thing would happen fairly quickly. So
do you feel like have we answered your question?
You have. Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. Willie May or Justine?
I was thinking that with the COVID virus, and yesterday I took some time to kind of identify some people who could help me get my name out there and that sort of thing. But they're in so many different fields. There's one person, she worked for the courts in DC, and she talked about the corporate life coach. And then I have another friend who is, she just quit her job and she is opening up her own business as a life coach for ministers. And my niche has always been with women. However, the congregation that we have a lot of millennials. So I'm thinking that I probably should transition a little bit towards them, because they will need some assistance as well. So I really don't want to flip flop, but I'm thinking that women is, because I'm a woman, and that I've done women's retreats and seminars and those kind of things. So I'm a little bit more comfortable with that. But I have counseled millennials. It's not necessarily my comfort zone, because that's a whole different language that they speak, and even the way that they think. And so I'm just trying to feel my way. But what I did on yesterday was I wrote down a number of things that I wanted to do, mostly information that we received in our class on a Sunday for marketing, because I think marketing is my biggest concern. Because if I was able to travel and go here and there like I used to, it would be a lot easier. Just say if I was doing a workshop, I could pass out my card, talk about myself, whatever. But because of the virus, I'm just like stuck here. And so I need to explore another way of getting my name out there. You see what I'm saying?
Sounds to me, so you're saying you feel comfortable with face-to-face marketing, and you have a network in which to do so, but with COVID, you have concern on how to reach those folks, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you guys have anybody? Jerome, Leslie, or Desi?
Yeah, so what I'm hearing, Justine, is that you do have a passion for women, and it sounds like younger generations. And the thing about millennials is that we're a big gap, not a big gap in age, but I think the millennials is a decade and a half. Because I'm at the top of millennials. Millennials started in 1980. I think it goes all the way to 1993. It's like 13 years, because you mentioned that one of the fears is the way that they speak. And so what I see right now is that I'm coaching the young ones that are in their 20s. And I really relate with them, and I can talk like them and be like them. But I think for you, Justine, maybe it's more of the shepherding the older millennials. So like the ones like I'm 40 right now, like shepherding the ones that are like 35 to 40 and they're moms, or they're becoming moms, or they're more thinking about long-term goals. And I mean, I'm not saying this is what you should coach on, but because if the younger ones can be a little bit intimidating, then maybe start with the older millennials.
So you're saying the 40, the 30, is it 35 or 40, that group?
Yeah, 30 to 40.
You could. There's no wrong answer to this. It's about thinking, sometimes what I'll do is I'll have close your eyes, put your hand on your heart, and think about when your heart sings with the person that you're working with. It sings, it's going to do the work for you. And where you're going to have the most effect, because you're going to feel the most secure with that process. So when you think about yourself and when your heart sings, who are you working with?
Well, generally it's women who have gone through various things, and maybe probably most of them are older than 40. Because I found with the millennials, they're still having babies and going to school and buying houses and cars, and just it's just so much going on in their life. And I say that because we have a good sized group of millennials, married couples with children under 10 years old. So I've already been there.
Yeah, so if you're going to focus in on the older female, what are the traits that person would want to pay you money for?
Well, most of the older females, well, not most, but I would say some of the older females have dealt with a divorce, separation,
so relationships,
children problem, kids growing up with those kind of problems,
empty nesting,
health and financial issues, those kind of things. They're usually pretty stable in their job because they know they're heading towards the next plateau. But just relationships, that's number one. And for some reason, and I'm not going to say for some reason because I've been there myself, having self-esteem issues just because the husband left, and I didn't have self-esteem because my husband left. He's still here, but because of but different areas of needing to be encouraged and to be supported as they go through different things, layoffs and job changes and so forth. So that may be my niche, because I've always had a feel for, and I volunteered for 8 months at a crisis center for battered women, because my understanding is nobody's going to hit me and I'm going to stay with them. So I had to retrain my mind as to why would somebody stay with someone who is who's beating them or abusing them. And so the 8 months exposed me to other reasons. I also volunteered in a women's shelter because I wanted to know how women felt just having no place to go, living on the street with children and all of those things. So that may be the niche that I'm already kind of close to in my heart. rather than the millennials.
We'll say from this perspective, I saw your light, as I call it, your light turning on, and you starting to sing essentially when you started to talk about this group of women, especially. I mean, I think that there is room for you to help. I mean, all of those groups of women. Really, the great place for you to start is the ones that are going through the divorce and have stable jobs, because they'll have the money to pay you for your services. And so that's really where I would start. And then to help the ones that don't, you set aside a certain amount of time in your schedule to help the women who are maybe not monetarily able to pay your fee. But I would absolutely start with the women that are getting divorces, and in that transition when they're older, because you started to sing, and that will come through in your marketing and in reaching them. I still think we need to address how you're going to reach them a little bit. So
yes, I think that's important.
Yes, but I think we narrowed it down a bit. So what do you have? I want to ask, what do you have in place with regards to anything that is digital out there? Do you have anything in place?
You mean like Facebook?
Yeah,
and
that would be an example.
We have Zoom, but I'm going to have my own private Zoom account, because we already have Zoom, because we teach a class. We teach a class, and then we also have the conference line. We have Facebook as well, but they're all tied to the ministry. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to do mine completely separate, so that I can reach a different audience and not confuse everything between is this a church consultation or is this a business consultation? So those things. Now, that I don't know how to blog. I don't even know. I'm going to look it up and find out, but I haven't had time yet. And I want to get on Instagram. I'm on Instagram, but I'm not even sure how to use that to my advantage, to my advantage to get my name out there. When I shared with my family and friends, thank you, Miss Lisa. Once I got the certificate with my correct name on it, instead of John Marshall, it had my name on it. So I sent it out to some of my family and friends, and they were very excited. And then a couple of them said, "Oh, I know somebody who needs to talk to you." So I'm hoping that that's going to be a door that's going to open for me. So I would need to know how to do a Zoom meeting, webinar, those kind of things. And so I'm getting familiarizing myself with how to do that. I think that's going to be key for me. I can talk and I can share, and I've learned a lot from these classes for my own personal, as well as how to help other people. But just how to market myself, I'm not even sure if I've ever had to market myself. You know, so you got to talk about yourself. You got to say you're good at something. You got to, I've never had to do that.
You're already doing it though.
I was just going to say,
we're watching you in action.
We all already do it. Whenever you're talking with someone and promoting something, it just organically occurs. And that's the way, when I mentioned earlier, it's whatever makes your heart sing, that it's going to come organically and naturally from you. And why not use the people that you know, even through the church, and ask them to help you and promote you, because they already know how wonderful and amazing you are. So leverage what you're already connected to so that it's working with you. You're not a secret. You're amazing.
Yes, you are. Absolutely. With regards to just a couple points that you brought up, you have Instagram, you feel lost. Don't worry about it, quite honestly.
Really?
The age group you're going for will be found on Facebook. So just don't worry. Throw out Instagram. Focus on your Facebook.
Okay.
And then also the amazing thing too is blogging is as simple as doing what we're doing right now, because it's vlogging with a V, video blogging essentially. And it counts the same if you put it on your website, it counts the same in SEO. It counts in the land of Facebook. So you don't need to have to sit down and write out a whole blog when you can just get on and start talking or talking with somebody else, and it does you just as much good. And if you're comfortable doing that, then do that. Jerome, do you have anything to add with regards to the social and things of that nature?
Yeah, I was gonna mention Instagram. Toss that out, just like you said. It's important. I think it's important to know what platform really, or what features come with what platforms. And for what we're speaking about as far as your audience group, you're probably mostly going to find them on Facebook. I would say if you want to go in another direction, maybe LinkedIn too as well would be a good spot for you to go ahead and get familiar with.
Did you say LinkedIn?
Correct, LinkedIn.
Okay.
Outside of those two, I mean, obviously you can do whatever you like, but I think that's where you're going to be able to actually go ahead and thrive, is going to be LinkedIn and Facebook would be the two of the major platforms that you want to go ahead and actually figure out. The rest, if it comes, it comes, but I don't see it being very detrimental for you to actually, kind of put it on the back burner for now.
Just like with discovering your niche, really master your Facebook, and use it to the full breadth of what it's capable of, and really get in there the nitty gritty with that, since you're comfortable there already,
Yeah, you don't have to be on everything, especially all at once. Like Brooke was saying, get comfortable with one of them and then move to add something. Go ahead, Justine, you were going to say something.
I was going to ask a question about blogging. So, blogging is what we're doing now? Is that what you're saying?
With a V.
It's a blog. It's a blog. But the big reason people say to blog is because with Google and SEO, one of the things the algorithm does to increase your searchability is it will scan your site for information. And it used to be just writing counts, but now it actually watches your videos, and it logs what you're saying and what they're about, and it gives you the same amount of benefit as writing out a big long blog does. So this is so you can now just
I thought it was
film
just
a video and it's just as beneficial.
Okay, I thought it was just writing out speaking on some topic and writing out something about it.
You can. That's still absolutely an option. You can do both, or we do both. When we post this, we do a write up, and we post the video. So we do both.
Okay.
We do the write up because we can backlink in it, which is basically we can link out to other sites. And then the hope is that they eventually link back to us, and then that increases our SEO as well. So there's a whole science there.
Again, don't, there's a lot to this.
Yeah,
one thing at a time.
One thing.
Don't let it bog you down. As you get comfortable and familiar with that, continue learning it, and then expand to something else and do that same procedure.
And I think that you have something there. You've got your Facebook, you've got a network of people through your that you can approach separately and say, this is a separate thing. This is what I'm doing. It's my business, and introduce it that way, but tap into that network without a doubt. So, just like it's with Leslie, they know you, they trust you, use them.
So if I have someone in Florida, and I did some counseling with them in 2018. They have a group of friends. She's about 47, 46, 47. They have a group of friends. Now, the payment would be through PayPal?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a number of ways.
Okay, and the other question that I have with regard to that is that, do we take insurances, or do insurances pay for coaching? They do not. So we don't have to worry about that.
Don't worry about that.
Okay.
As far as payment, there's all kinds of systems out there. You're not tied to one like back in the day. Your bank has its own little remote system. Elevon has its remote system. PayPal, Venmo, Square. I mean, there's just all kinds of things. Which one's safer? People will ask. 1 week, one is safer than the next week, and then they switch. So just look into what is going to do the most benefit for you. like a few of them, Square and PayPal, well, they all have invoicing kinds of systems, but see if that will work for you. You can get more involved with using that for multitasking, the easier it is going to be on you than having multiple things to have to learn and go through. But again, it's just research what's going to be best for you in your area. Think about your target market. What are they using? If they're using Venmo, then your target market, then you're going to want to have a Venmo account. You can have several accounts. You can have, so there's just no one way to think about receiving payment.
Yeah, I would.
Gone are the days where we have to take check.
Yeah, gone are the days. Yes, and I would Google just honestly accept payments and see what comes up and really tool through it. But we have to switch gears. We've got to get to Willie Mae before our time is up. So Willie Mae, what is your question?
Justine has so taken into so many of mine. And let me say we are 45-year friends, sisters. So as she is speaking, my question or my concern has been answered, that my fear, and it's not a fear, it's a weakness of speaking as we're speaking now. One-on-one, I don't stop. One-on-one, I'm very, very secure, but I never wanted to do this. I never wanted to get online. I never wanted to expose myself. I need to know how to come to the forefront and not be the person that works. I'm a Jerome. I work behind, I keep it happening. I'm a Jerome. I need to know now how to take what I have as Jerome is helping us and come to the forefront and speak for myself. I have a platform. I don't have to advertise, or I haven't done it because I speak. I do speak. I have been able to found and carry a women's retreat for 20 years. And they advertise for me. I don't really have to go out and advertise it, and it has grown. I have a Bible college that I can't even tell you how I did it and got accredited, but that's how forward I am. I have the church, and I pastored that very well for about 15 years. So my thing is, I'm in the background, but yet I'm in the front. So I don't know how, or it may be an insecurity of an insecure bashfulness to come forth like this and say what my abilities are. So I was coming on this weekend, and I found out through Desiree that and the teaching that you are just a fixer. So in saying I'm a fixer, that's not bad. I'm a developer. I'm a visionary. Or I have a great imagination. So I take what other people have, and I can take their idea and make it happen. So I don't know how I would title that, but I don't have a fear of anything. I really don't have a fear. It's just an insecurity of show your face, speak boldly. Don't feel that when you say you can do, that you are over promoting yourself, because I've been under promoting myself. So I need to know now to get over maybe a paranoia of coming forth. If I had known today that we were going to be live on Facebook, I would not have come on. Yes, I would not have come on. And that's maybe my fear. They have been trying to get me to come on and do webinars with other women. I would not do it. I would help them, but I wouldn't do it. Justine knows I would help her, but I won't do it. Not in front. So that's where I am. And I love helping other people with their self-awareness. I love helping other people to go and identify who they are inwardly. But at the same time, I don't want to be upfront to say that I'm playing a part in it. I want to make you look great, but I just rather stand back here. And so the whole weekend, I would not ever unmute. I would not say anything, but I was just trying to fix everyone. And that's who and one other thing, so I need help with this. When I heard what the first one when I heard Lisa, I think it was, say to Desiree, oh, I'm going to the Garden of the Gods. I can't get past that. I want to go to the Garden of the Gods. I want to see how it's put together.
Oh,
Yes, that's what I want. So that took me like, oh, they're going to the Garden of the Gods. I want to go to the Garden of the Gods. Because even now, I'm taking a big field by the church and I'm making it a garden of prayer. I don't know how to do it, but I'm doing it.
yes.
So that's who I am. And I need to know how to promote that. And the thing is, I don't know how to do it, but in another couple of weeks, it will be done. And they were like, how did you do it? Because I'm a person of I imagine everything. So that's who I am. I'm a visionary. I imagine, I see it before it's finished. I can make you have it happen. You can give me nothing and I can make something out of it. But I don't know how to I don't know how to express that to other people.
Yes, you
That's
do.
what I am.
Yes, you do.
You don't need the map to tell you to turn right or turn left. You just need to be yourself, just like you were.
You're
Just like you're
visionary.
right now on Zoom and on Facebook Live, and you're doing it. And people are watching you because you are incredible. You've created so much. You're creating a path for people to find their joy, to find their peace.
Yes.
She's amazing. She is very, very amazing. The things that she can do, I could never do them, but she is amazing. She's very creative. I don't know what her apprehensions are, because if I had all the skill that she has to do all the things that she does, I would be like, oh, I'm okay. But
I got this.
But I think there's a degree of comfort.
I'm still working on me.
I mean,
So overthinking is usually our most troubling place, as we get into this space where we overthink a lot of this process. With you, Willie Mae, and all of us, if you just do it, get on the Zoom, just create that connection, just do it like you have done everything else, it's going to happen.
That's what I want to take. So how do you make it just as important for you to put yourself out there as it is for you to help other people? How do you make it so that it's equally as important to you, as rewarding for you, to put yourself out there? What world is that? How does that look?
That is a world that at my age I have to tap into, because I have to do it now so I can get the pleasure from it. I can get the reward personally from it. That's what I was saying in my sessions. How do I get rewarded for what I do with who I am? I'm rewarded from you when I see you smile. I'm rewarded for you when I see it happen. I'm rewarded for you when you rejoice. I rejoice, but when am I going to rejoice? Because, oh, I accomplished this and I deserve being that millionaire that I know I should be. And I'll say it forever.
Me too.
When do I rejoice for that? When do I own that for me? And I won't go less, because I know that's what I should be. And I'm not even tapping the market.
So when is when? Is when now? When is when?
When we get off today.
Okay.
I'm going to start working on me.
Okay.
And putting myself out there. And I'm saying this to myself now. I'm invited on 3 webinars internationally. And I say, no, I keep saying, no, I'm not coming.
What?
Yes, I say, no, I'm not coming. And they'll say, but God said for you to come. I say, let God tell me. I won't go.
Telling you 3 times, Willie Mae.
Say yes. Just say yes.
I am going to accept. I'm going to make a call as soon as we finish and accept one of them.
That's right. There we go. Yes.
Exactly.
Beautiful.
Oh, I just got the chills.
I know, me too. I totally got the chills.
And I'm coming. I want to come to the Garden of the Gods.
Okay. You let me know when you're here, and we'll go there, Willie Mae.
Oh, I want to see that. Yes.
And then we want to hear about your webinar too, and how it goes.
Yes,
and yes, please, and share it with us, so we'll share it out to the world, please.
I will let you know. I have a niece. I have a niece, I have a son that's tech like Jerome, I have a grandson, and I won't let them do anything. I just say, no, I'm not coming. Now I'm going to get that set up. And I'm going to let you know when I go and do the webinar, because I'm going to stay close to you if you let me.
I want to hear about it.
Yes, I would like to go if I can.
I'll let you know.
I'll be cheering you on. I'll have big signs that say, "Oh, Willie Mae on Zoom." I'll be your fan club.
I think, though, it's fair. Willie Mae, in many ways, pointed out something that a lot of us suffer from, which is that are we good enough? When are we going to put ourselves forward? When is it our turn? When do we finally get to, step into the spotlight? And are we good enough to do so? Do we feel good enough to do so? Do we feel worthy? And you just have to. You are. So know that, feel that, embrace that you are. You're worthy of your talents and your skill set and what you do, and sharing it with the world is good for the world. You're doing nothing but good for other people by sharing who you are. So. And
the last word I'll say on this is, I did a retreat a couple of years ago, and I'm a stager. I stage by theme, I stage by topic, and I was told in my spirit, man, to put a value on what you do. You do it. I mean, you could promote it everywhere, but put a value on it. You do all this great work, but you don't put a value on it. You just do it because it's innate, but you don't put a value. I mean, what is that? And so I'll do it and give it away. Desiree, I give it away.
Nope. You are doing more disservice. I was talking to Desi yesterday, and I said, no, charge for what you're worth, value your time. Why? You're doing the American economy a disservice by giving it away for free.
We are meant to be prosperous coaches. Even though we can serve, and I understand it's our innate gifts, and we have this beautiful medicine that I know many of us know that it comes from maybe a higher power, and it's like, but we still got to get paid, to serve and to be there and to support people and to thrive, to thrive.
And as you said, Desiree, from a higher power, I know and I believe that's my problem, is I didn't study for it. It's just there. And so I don't know how to, if you tell me to do something today, just give me an idea, and the next thing it's done. It's just done.
I have an idea for you. I have an idea.
Yes, Donna.
I feel like you and Justine should start doing chats like this and just put it up on Facebook. And just talk
That's
to
a
each
good
other.
idea.
And women will come and listen.
It's always easier to do it with two.
I'll be there. I'll be there.
Because you got somebody to bounce off of. That's a brilliant idea. Brilliant idea, Donna.
I don't know if they
I would love watching the two of you speak. Just
we would love it
each other
too.
and have ideas. Absolutely.
No, they don't want to see us together.
Yes.
Oh yes.
They do. They absolutely do.
They do. It makes a great collaboration team, and to have those different opposite personalities. It is magic.
Have you guys just chat? I mean, that natural energy between you, it'd be fantastic, and people will tune in. So
you're suggesting that she and I put together a
vlog, a webinar.
There's your vlog.
Right there. Just talk to each other and chat about it, right? Yeah.
Because this is what podcasting is like. Two people just talking.
Just pick a subject and chat, and then eventually you guys can have other people on and talk with them, and then create your own little thing.
We're doing Justine's eyes is like we're doing it right now.
It's actually resonating in me that this is, we never even thought about this. She and I'm part of her retreat team, but we've never really thought about doing it on Zoom I'm thinking it would be fantastic. We have a good audience that we're already tapped into, and we can put out a little blurb out there about life coaching as well. I think that's great. I love you guys.
We love you too.
Well, I mean, the way of the world now is everything's going to be online. Like I know many of us, like I'm missing my retreats. I was supposed to be doing retreats right now, like you, Willie Mae, and we're moving into Zoom rooms and making and creating this environment. And the two of you together, so many people would be captivated to just see your wisdom and your knowledge, and it's so healing. And we're applying the teachings just through your conversation.
Well, thank you.
Oh.
I think that's a great idea.
I think
I
it is.
really do.
We'll talk
I have to
after
work.
this.
I have to work with May because she's going to want to be in the background and just.
You can't let her. You can't let her. Mm-mm.
But she does all of the groundwork. She's excellent at that, and I wouldn't take anything from what her creativity and her gifts are. They're different than mine, but I'd like to have hers and Adam with mine.
You make it even better. You guys, two people makes it a stronger thing. It makes it
Yes,
a
yes.
stronger product.
Yes.
We have to wrap it up, unfortunately, guys. It's almost 2:00. Thank you guys so much for being here. This is
Thank you for
fantastic. Any
everything.
final thoughts from anybody?
Thank you for inviting us. I'm so happy that I'm here. It's been a blessing. And
Yes.
I look forward to moving forward in some of these areas.
And we want to see all of your progress. Share it, please,
Yes.
please. We want to see it. So
Okay.
So how do we share with you? How do we share with you to stay close to you?
Jerome.
through
In
Jerome?
multitude of ways. We are, Willie Mae, I'm not sure if you joined our alumni Facebook page. That is a great way to stay connected. You can always reach out via email. You could always call the office. There are many ways you can stay connected with us. We try to make it as easy as possible. So
We're always
Find us
here.
on level 2. It's amazing.
Yes.
Now, I
Okay,
wanted to ask, is it Leslie?
Yes.
You're in corporate marketing.
Yes.
I'd like to talk with you about marketing, whether it's corporate. Marketing is marketing, isn't it?
It is.
It's just the audience that you're marketing to. Is that correct?
Exactly. I tell people every time you answer the phone, you're marketing.
Mhm.
So I'd
You're
like to talk with
representing
you.
something. It starts at that simple and that basic and goes from there.
Well, I'd like to connect with you just to get some
Sure.
pointers to just kind of perk my memory, my thoughts, and some ideas and things maybe I could run past you that may be good. So I'm going to look you up.
Yeah, I'm on that roster.
Awesome.
Okay,
Perfect.
good. Okay.
Thank you guys so
I'd
much.
love to chat with you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for being
welcome.
here.
Thank
Sure
you.
guys
Love
like
you.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Donna. God
Like,
bless
share,
you. Love you
comment.
too, my
Want to hear
dear.
from you two out there and check out Certified Life Coach Institute. Thank you guys.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Oh, I
See you,
have
Miss
an
Bay.
ending.
Bye. Miss Desiree.